Hi guys, today we're doing a big one. I'm rating every single 1.0 tank in the game, so foreground realistic of course. Now this one was so big. I had 16 hours of recording just from the gameplay of these tanks. Man, 16 hours. Please, if you find this video interesting, if you like it, please subscribe. It costs you nothing. It helps me out very much, so yeah, I appreciate every single one of you. And let's get down to the video. So I will be ranking these 1.0 tanks, but also if you're a new player, if you're a beginner, I will just say a few tips, which tanks to play, which tanks to avoid, what to be careful about, stuff like that. So if you're a beginner, I think this video is perfect. It's targeted at you. This will probably be around 1 hour, and you'll watch this and you'll know every single tank, how it performs, what to be careful about, and so on and so on. I'll be ranking them. I have as amazing. I was thinking about broken, but let's go with amazing. A, good tier. B is mid, so mid, you know. C, bad, and then D, these tanks right here, trash. Avoid them at all costs. I will also be ranking them so from left to the right, but take this with a pinch of salt because it's so damn hard with so many tanks, and you know they're 1.0. It's not the easiest to rank them. So left, the best. The farther right it goes, the worse it is. So yeah, I will try to do this at least. Also, I want to thank to my friend Pakowski. Now he helped me a little bit because it's better to get a perspective of two people than one. So he helped me go through and helped me decide on where to put them. So yeah, big thanks to him. Now 1.0. What makes tanks right here good? Well, stabilizer is number one in my opinion, because these tanks here, they are made out of paper, apart from like some French ones right here. The rest, paper. Almost every tank can penetrate almost every tank. So whoever gets a shot on the other person first is probably gonna win. So stabilizer allows you that. So that's amazing. Tanks with stabilizers will be up there. Second, speed. When you have speed, you can get into good positions, take an ambush, wait for people to come around the corner. If you're playing Italian tanks, you know this problem. You drive forwards, you see an enemy tank you want to stop, and your gun goes up and it goes down. And so yeah, when you're getting ambushed in an Italian tank, you're dead. So first stabilizer, second speed. Then the gun. Is it gun performing good? If the gun is not performing good and you're speedy, well, you can make it work. So yeah, let's go. 1.0. So LVT right here, S tier. Amazing tank. You're very survivable. Your speed is mediocre. Your gun is amazing. You have stabilizer. Yes, you only do have AP shot, but that doesn't matter. It's so good. It allows you to survive so much, and that's why I think if you're a new player, you will have very good games in this tank. You can make mistakes and still get away with it. So yeah, great tank to pick up. It's reserved, so when you go play USA, this is the first tank you get. And I have another LVT right here, and I didn't know this till like a month ago. Yes, you can get a free LVT. All you have to do is click the link down in the description. You just you will be redirected to the site. You just enter your email there, and boom, you have this tank, and you also have P26 for free. So amazing. But yes, I will just put this tank next to the LVT right here. On to the second American reserve tank, M2A4. Gun is the same as an LVT. Amazing AP shot. Penetration is more than enough for every single tank here. You have stabilizer, and this tank is even faster. It's amazingly fast. You have 25 armor, so when you angle, it will be enough to stop some of the worst rounds in this game. So that's good. But for new players, it will be a little bit harder to play than LVT, I think. You need to know in which positions to go. You're one shot at much easier than with LVT, but once you get good, once you know the positions, once you just get better at this game, this is even better tank. And S tier again, amazing lineups. If you start this game, America is #1 pick in my opinion. Even if you're bad, this will be the most fun lineup for you. Then we go to Germans, and it's completely different story than with America. First you have Pz.III Now the gun is not bad. You have this 37mm cannon that is more than enough, so I don't know, that's not bad. Armor 25mm, it's not great, but it's not bad at all. But the speed is dragging this tank down significantly. You only go 33 kilometers per hour top speed. That kills this tank so much. I don't even know what more to say about this tank. In my opinion, it's perfect example for B tier in this tier list. Mid B tier. Boom, right here. Deserves nothing more than this. Then Pz.III. Germany is the only nation where you get 3 reserve tanks instead of 2. You know, unless you count this LVT right here with America. Pz.III B and Pz.III E. You know what? Let's talk about Pz.III E first. Fast, 71 kilometers per hour, but it will never reach that. The max you'll go is 40-50 kilometers per hour. There, you know, in between. The armor is good. You have 30mm of hull, 35 on turret. When you angle, it's more than enough. Gun is good. It's a nice, well-rounded vehicle. And yeah, A tier. It's much better than Pz.35T. But, you know, I was thinking about this. Sometimes for new players, it's even better to have a little bit slower vehicle. With fast tanks you can get in tricky situations and then boom, you're dead. But yeah, once you get used to this tank, when you get used to the speed, it's definitely much better. And then you also have Pz.III B, which is exactly the same than Pz.III E, apart from 3 things, I think. So first, armor. You go from 30mm of armor to 15 on Pz.III B. You know, it's just a worse tank. 15mm. Then from 71 top speed you go down to 35. Now the turret rotation is a little bit faster than Pz.III, but that doesn't save it. And I think this is the first bad tank. I have to put it at C. But I have to admit, I was thinking about putting it at B, but it just being the worst Pz.III. Why? Why would you play this? Go Pz.III, go Pz.35T, and then go Pz.III B, but it's bad in my opinion. Now, when I was talking about Pz.III, I remembered something. And this is the War Thunder Wiki, so this is their official site. And you can go look up the differences between tanks. So, for example, let's say that you don't know what's the difference between Pz.III, Pz.III B. So, it's very nice. You just click here. You click here, compare. Boom. Then you go back, you click again here, Pz.III B, compare, and then you just click once more here, and boom, you have the comparison between Pz.III and Pz.III B. You know what? Let's switch this. Yeah, let's switch Panzer. So this is worse tank. This is much better one, and you can even toggle between realistic, arcade. Let's do realistic right here. And oh, I don't want. You can just click button, only differing, and boom, full armor 14, so it's not 15 like I said. Full armor 30. That's a big difference. Turret armor 16, 35 from the front. Speed 35, 71. Backward 6, 12. So this is a great way to compare vehicles, but you need to be careful of something. Not all stats are shown here. So for example, turret rotation. Where is turret rotation? I didn't find it. So yeah, you need to be careful about that. And now we're in War Thunder. So if we look Pz.III B, and now look at this turret rotation right here. So when your crew is at top 20 degrees per second, Pz.III 14 degrees per second. So, you know, this was not showing back there. So yeah, big difference. Now we go to BT5. Now BT5, first category, doesn't have a stabilizer. Second category, mobility, broken. Broken. The engine power on this tank is amazing. You go from 0 to like 30-40 kilometers per hour, boom, in second or two. It's so amazing. The speed is what makes this tank good. Also, gun. 45 millimeters cannon. This is overperforming so much. So much. I don't believe that this cannon was so good as it is in the game. I don't believe it. It's amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And even though this tank doesn't have a stabilizer, it's S-tier. It's S-tier. I can't put it anywhere else. Because it's so good. You can get in those positions so quick. And this is where me and my friend Pakowski argued a little bit. I said BT5 is right here. He said, nope, it's right here. You know why? Because for new players, and most of the players, you know, when you play BT5, you're most likely a new player or starting to play Russia. It's right here. Because with LVT, you can go in, you can push like a Maimon in there. With BT5, you can't do that. You have crew member right here, another one and third one in the turret. You one shot right in here, boom, you're dead, you're out of the game. For new players, this is much harder to play. For better players, this is, I would say, right here, much better. But yeah, for most of the players, it will be right here. I kinda agree with him, so I need to put it down here. Then T26, and this is same gun as on BT5. Amazing 45. It just shred people. Armor, nothing special. You're made out of paper, so everything that shoots at you, you're probably dead already. And also, it's slow. It's slow, and you know, doesn't have stabilizer. It's slow. In my opinion, it can't even get A tier. It can't. The only good thing on this tank is gun, and that's it. So B tier, and I think it's better than Pz.III I do. So then we go to Great Britain, and their tanks kind of lie at what you can expect at higher BRs, because these tanks amazing, fast, amazing, and then you get to Matildas and Churches, and you think, what the f is this garbage? So the start to the Pz.III amazing, but everything after that, not so much. So first Tetrarch, you get 40mm cannon, you have stabilizer, you are speedy, armor is trash, but that doesn't matter. And then you have two shots, amazing. First APHE, I think 66 penetration, something like that. More than enough for everyone here. And then you also have AP with 89mm of penetration, also amazing shell. This tank is very good, very good. So stabilizer, yes. Speed, yes. Gun, yes. Boom, S tier. A13 Mk I, again, same gun. It's fast, has stabilizer, no armor. That doesn't matter. Amazing vehicle all around. Again, same two ammo types. Very good. S tier, boom, right here. If you're a new player, these two tanks are very good option, but in my opinion, they are not as good as M2A4 and LVT. Yes, you have APHE, so that's the ammo that goes in and explodes in there, but these tanks are a little bit more survivable. So, and even the AP you get on American tanks, it's more than enough, and you'll even learn something. You'll learn where you need to shoot people. So I think this is much better, but still, Great Britain tanks, amazing, but I have to put them under the BT5. I think this tank is still better. Maybe you can do this, put BT5 under this. It doesn't really matter, they're all amazing, but let's do it like this. Now we go to Japan, and ooh man, Ayuko, this tank feels terrible. First, stabilizer. Yep, but it's very bad one. Then, mobility. Nope. You're limited to 27 kilometers per hour. That's your top speed. Armor. Non-existent. Gun. Non-existent. These tanks feel like you're a bag of potatoes on a fucking tracks and you're rolling, you know. You see an enemy and it really feels like back when you were playing Call of Duty 2, when you know you were throwing potatoes at enemies. It almost feels like that. Yes, you have 57 millimeters of penetration, but it's hit rounds. You don't hit an enemy perfectly, it doesn't work. You're slow, you have no armor. Trash. First trash tank right here. And what makes this tank even worse is that with this reserve tank, you get Kenny. The Kenny, much better option. You're fast. Yes, you don't have stabilizer. And then gun. It's not good, but it's not bad. It's workable. You have 48 or 47 millimeters of penetration. Explosive, yes, it's shit, you have like 12 grams or something like that. But it's speedy, it's small, it's amazing. I love this tank. I have a video on this tank, or you know, I have a video on every single Japan tank right here. But the title of that video is when you know, BT5 from Wish. It really feels like that. It's like BT5, but everything is a little bit worse. But still, A tier. I think it's very good. If you're a new player, you will struggle a little bit. But I think that, you know, when you practice a little bit, when you get a little bit better, good players, you can make this tank work. It's an amazing vehicle. It's much better than every single tank, you know, down here. But yes, I think it's better than Pz.III. Sorry, German mains. I'm a little bit biased maybe with this one, but oh well. Then we go to China. And China has fake tanks from other nations. T26, it's the same vehicle. T26 with a little bit differently shaped turret, with a little bit differently shaped hull. You have this railing on top of the turret, it doesn't matter. But you have extra machine gun. That is true. But that machine gun will not help you with almost anything, so yeah. Also, it's 2 kilometers per hour slower. So instead of 30 kilometers per hour, you got 28. I don't have any more to say about this tank, it's a fake one and a little bit worse in my opinion. Boom, right here. M8. With America, you get M8 as a premium vehicle. With China, you get as a reserve tank. Gun, same as on American tanks. Amazing shell, amazing AP. Oh, it's perfect, it's perfect. Mobility, amazing. You're very fast, but you need to get a little bit momentum before the speed builds up. Armor, it's bad, but your hull is shaped very nice, so you actually bounce some stuff. And then another amazing thing, machine gun. You get 50 cal on the top, and as you see in the background, that 50 cal is amazing. You can kill people with only 50 cal. For 1.0, I think 50 cal is broken. I think it doesn't belong here. A lot of people, or most of the people, don't care about 1.0, so we are where we are. But this tank does not have stabilizer, so it's much harder to play than M2A4, in my opinion at least. What this tank is good for is get into a good position and then just boom, slap the enemies, you know. left, right, and center. So yeah, that's amazing. But I don't think it's, you know, it's S tier, amazing tank. But I think it's the worst one out of this one, out of these ones right here, because of the stabilizer. Stabilizer is big part of this. So yeah, if you're a new player, this tank will be a little bit harder to play. I still think it's amazing vehicle. Go play it, go check it out. It's a reserve tank after all, you can get it like this or you already have it in the garage. So on to Italian tanks. And well, this is actually the only two tanks that doesn't suck with Italy. At 1.0 at least. AB41, no armor, no stabilizer. It's speedy, so yeah, but again, wheel tank. It needs to get going before the speed builds up. And then you get this 20mm cannon with 8 shots, and when you're stuck, so when you don't have the ammo researched, I think the penetration is like 30 or 40, something like that. When you have maximum or the best ammo, you have 48mm of penetration. Same as on Kenny's actually, with 8 shots. Now I think it goes 48 and then it's the worst ammo, 48 worst ammo. But you know, still. The cannon is good. You can kill most people right here with, you know, front shots. French tanks, of course, you're not gonna be able to penetrate easily at least. But yeah, I think that's it. The gun is amazing, speed is good, not a bad tank at all. I remember this tank as a bad tank, but the more I played it, the more I actually liked it. And you can also shoot down planes. Yeah, you probably see the clips in the background. So, AB41, boom, good, right here. I think it's better than Pz.III, and yeah, that's that. Then Carro Armato or whatever, you know, L340 or yeah, L340. It uses the same gun as AB41, but it's not wheel tank, it's tank on track, so the mobility drops down significantly. Armor, again, non-existent. It's good for the same reasons, you know, the gun, good penetration or good enough. You can kill planes. But the biggest problem with these tanks, this tank for me is first mobility and second, when you come to a stop with this tank and you see the clips in the background, you see a tank, you want to stop to fire at that dude and your tank is sparting like he is sparting the last time in his life. You know, he's going back, he's going down, he's going... And you're dead like 2-3 times in that time, you know, when your gun is just bouncing up and down like crazy. I hate this tank. When you have tank like AB41, this tank is just bad. Why would you play it? But it's not, you know, bad like bad in terms of C tier. No, I still think it's B tier, but it's at you know, farther side right here. AB41 much better. French tanks. Oh yeah, I'm fucking excited for this one. I actually had to look up the name of this tank. AMD35. It's a good tank. 25mm cannon, so that's a little bit, you know, on the lower side. But the AP shot is not bad. It's a nice gun, a little bit underperforming in terms of post-pin damage. But the tank is fast, it's built, you know, again, a little bit slower when, you know, it starts going, but then it accumulates speed nicely. So fast, no stabilizer, that's a bad thing, but a nice gun. For French low tier, this is amazing. If I would be rating only French tanks, you know, this would go S tier, boom. But I'm not. I'm rating them, you know, all of them at 1.0. So these tanks need to go into A tier in my opinion. Here we had big discussion with my friend. Should I put this tank in front of AB41 or not? We actually agreed on that this one is in front, but we don't know. Just a tiny bit, you know, this could go anyway. So, yep, this is one example where I don't know, you know, what you prefer. Maybe you will prefer Kenny. No. Actually, I wanted to say maybe you will prefer Kenny over BT5, but I don't think that is possible. But maybe you will prefer AMD, maybe you will prefer AB. I don't know. No, but I think it's right here. Then we go to H39. And this is a weird one, I must say. When I started playing for this video, you know, to get a couple of clips, I thought this tank is piece of shit. And I was truly thinking about FCM and what's it called, you know, the 35 version, almost the same as FCM with the cone. But no, this tank actually has nice AP shell. It's not speedy, it's slow, but I don't mind tank being slow if it has some armor, and this tank has, you know, the armor is nice. People will struggle. You can see in the back, I went through A, I went to their base, I ran out of ammo, I turned back, I go to replenish ammo, I turned back to their base again, I killed everyone at base, and I ran out of ammo again. This tank can work so good in so many situations, but doesn't have stabilizer, it's not speedy, the gun is decent, so the armor is not reliable enough for me to put this tank up here. It's not. So where will I put this? Right here. Yep. Behind Pz.III and in front of the L340. This tank can be amazing in some situations. On the other hand, you will be driving there like a moron just to get one shot at, and it's pain, so be careful about that. And the last nation with reserve tanks, or you know, Israel has a reserve tank at 6.0, so I will not be doing that tank. The Swedish one, Stridsvagn, or however it's pronounced, 31 and I think 38. Now these two tanks are very similar. The 31 version has more armor, I think 25, when 38 has 13 or something like that, not 100% sure. But on paper it says that 31 is a little bit slower. To be honest, I didn't notice that, truly. And there is a little bit difference in machine gun, I think 8mm on 38 and on 31 6 something. Doesn't really matter in this battle rating, and when the machine gun is so small, it doesn't matter most of the time. Actually very nice vehicles, I like them, I like playing them. They're not slow, but they're not the fastest, and the gun is the biggest thing that people argue all the time. The Swedish tanks have Csaba. They have armor piercing discarding Csaba round with 115mm of penetration. And I've seen so many comments, oh, Swedish tanks are broken because of this. Is it really that much better than 89mm of penetration on American tanks? Because I don't think so. 89 for 1.0 is more than enough for every single tank in the game in 1.0. So why would you go to 115 but you lose the post-pen damage? I don't think that's a good trade. I think the better round on these two tanks is APHE round. I think you have 55mm of penetration. Again, that's more than enough. Now, if you're a new player, well, switch to armor piercing discarding Csaba. As soon as you can't penetrate a guy, switch. 115 is more than enough. You should be able to go through everyone, and then boom, you're good. So the APDS is more of a, I would say, backup plan. When you don't have enough penetration, switch to that round, boom. Amazing tanks. but they're not S tier. I must put them right here, A. But I will put them in front of Panzer-III, and the Stridswagen 31 is actually better than the 38. I enjoy it playing more than this one. And again, here was, I think, the last argument where me and my friend, you know, we're not sure. Should we put these two tanks right like this, or, you know, are these two tanks better? I'm still not decided. But you know what? For now, let's put it like this. Let's put it like this. I think they deserve this spot right here. APDS is very nice. Backup. All that, you know. Let's go with this. This is a tier list for reserve tanks. This is it. Maybe I could do this. If I were doing only the reserve tanks, maybe I would drop this down a little bit. Maybe even the French one. But yeah, maybe you think, oh, such an amazing tanks. You know, you only have tanks in S, A, and B. Only 2 tanks right here. Yeah, well, that's because Gaijin did, you know, so they kinda help a new players to come into the game. For instance, with Japan, you know, you have this Aigoko right here. Well, this tank is actually locked for new players. They can't get it until they reach rank 2. Because the tank is so bad, so I think this is kind of like, we will not even give you bad tanks because you will suffer with them. Another instance is Phone, FCM36 or whatever. You know, another great example. They did the same thing for this one. Not sure if any other tank, but yeah, another big stinker is this 26-4. It would actually be very, very bad for a new player to pick this tank and he will suffer, you know, so this is intentional. Then we go to tanks that are, you know, the same as the tanks we already ranked, but they're just premium versions. There is no difference, so I'll just put them in front because they have some multipliers. That's it. So yeah, this doesn't really matter. They're the same tank, so let's do this. And now again, I'll go through every single nation with the rest of 1.0 tanks. So America, M2A2. Now this tank on M8 LAC, I said 50 cal is broken. Yeah, that's because it's secondary armament, it's secondary option. With this tank, it's your main weaponry. You know, this is the only thing you get, but you're very fast. You are very, very fast. You can get in the positions where you can ambush people. You can get them from the side. You are seeing in the background the clip where I killed 3 BT5s like that. Boom, like nothing. But 29mm or 31 with the right ammo is bad. 31mm of penetration is not good. And even when you go through so many times, your shells are not doing much, so it's not the best. Stabilizer doesn't really matter on this tank. Mobility is good, armament bad. And it's so bad that I don't think it deserves mid spot. I don't think. I thought about trash spot, but after, you know, after I saw which tanks goes into trash tier, I don't think this deserves that, you know, so I'll put it at C. Bad. It's bad tank. Now for new players, M2A2, I think it's not a good pick. When you don't know where to shoot the enemies, when you don't know the enemies, you know, you're facing, maybe you're seeing a French tank and for the first 2 times you don't know that it has a lot of armor and you're stuck, you know, shooting it. It's so much better in good players' hands. And you know, we can say that for every single tank, but this one especially, I think, if you're a bad player, it's not a good one. When you have with America tanks like this 4 right here and you can get 3 of them for free, yep, I don't think there is a reason for this one. Then we go to American M8. This is a premium version. It's the same as Chinese. Good mobility, no stabilizer, very good gun, very good machine gun. it's amazing. It's truly amazing. Fast, doesn't have stabilizer, so you really need to get into a good position from where you can just kill every fucking one. You know, amazing tank once you're in a good position. I'll put it up here. I'll put it in front again. It's a premium one, so why the f not? And then we go to Germany. And this is a f***ing squeezy boy, you know. Squeezy boy. You have Franz, you know, at the top right here. He's exposed like hell. The armament, you know, the cannon, it's not the best. It's APCR. It's probably one of the worst ammo in this game. Extremely bad against slopes. But you have like 97 or something like penetration. It's not bad. But over the distance your shell is losing penetration a lot. The biggest problem I have with this tank is how much you can turn your gun to left and right. To the right it's almost non-existent. To the left you can turn it a little bit, but it's such a big problem. It's build tank, so I think that helps it a little bit because you can turn it just a little bit left and right a little bit better than with tracks, you know. The tracks kinda boom, you're instantly going there, and you know, so maybe I think that's a little bit better than tracks. The tank is speedy, so that's the only thing that I think saves this tank. Everything else I would say it's bad on this tank. So I'll put it, for that I'll put it in C tier. I'll put it even under the M2A2. Now maybe that's a mistake. I can't really tell. I was thinking about this a lot. My friend agrees with this, so you know what? We'll put it at C right here. For new players, I think this is not a good option. Not at all. It's hard to play. It's hard to make it work. If you're a new player, this is not a recommendation for me. Avoid this tank. Oh, I actually never mentioned this tank's name. It's like Sonderkraftfahrzeug or something like that. You know, I looked it up right now because I can't remember. When 222, 222. You know, I don't even try to bother with German names. I know a little bit of German, but these kind of names, I can't remember them. And we go to another special vehicle of Germany. This one I call 251/10. I don't care about. I think it's the same special vehicle or something like that. That's the meaning of what I said for this one. I'm not gonna repeat it. I'm bad at Germany, I know. Now this tank is very interesting. First, it costs like 20 euros or something like that. Don't ever buy this. It's not worth it. The tank, it's a half truck, so it's not fast, but it's not the slowest vehicle. But it struggles so much when you start turning at stuff like that. The gun is nothing special, truly nothing special. It also bounces randomly up and down when you're stationary, so I don't know what the fuck is going on with that. The vehicle is open, you get strafed by planes, you die, you cry, you spend 20 euros on 1.0 tank and you feel like a dumbass. Yep, that's how I feel. With this tank, it's not worth picking up. I think it's very bad. Right here. Then we go from, you know, bad tank, in my opinion, or two bad tanks to actually fun tank. But again, you know, it's not very good. Sturmpanzer. I love this tank. I love this tank. It's a derpy boy, but again, it's, you know, stabilizer doesn't really matter on tanks like this. And it's slow. Mobility, trash. But you get games like you're seeing in the background. You just go through city and you're just one-shotting every single guy. This is, I don't think there is a single 1.0 tank that is surviving this shot. No way. No way. Very fun tank. but it's not. I will say this for almost every single derp tank in low BR. It's not competitive. It's not competitive. It's not good. It's fun, but that doesn't mean much. So I will put it actually right here. And oh, you know, back off, guys, back off. I know a lot of you will say, how fucking dare you? How fucking dare you? You know, I don't know what to say. Me and my friend both, we thought about this vehicle and we just couldn't put it right here. Because first, this much better. This is much better. And then you know, T26, Panzer 35, the French ones, the Italian ones, they're so much better in in every situation. So you go 10 games, you look at how many games these tanks were useful, and then you look how many games this tank was useful. You know, this is just, it's not on this level. You know, so that's my opinion. If you don't agree, you know, say in the comments, go fuck yourself, you know. Oh well. And then we are to Russia. And, you know, Igoko is feeling a little bit lonely right here. Let's just do this, you know, so we give him a friend. Here you go. Here you go, my friend. You can talk with someone right now. This is such a pile of shit right here. It's with T26, but worse. Engine power is the same, speed is the same, armor is the same, I think, at least on the hull. And then you have this gun that is trash. Reload goes from like 3 seconds to 4. Penetration goes from what? So the penetration with T26, I think 71, 72, something like that. It goes down to 37 penetration. Terrible. But when you do penetrate, it's actually amazing. It's like a bomb going off in their tank, so that's good, but overall this tank is trash. I have nothing more to say about this. Then we go to Su-51. Now this is a Russian tank destroyer, and first, no stabilizer, you know, you don't really need that. It's bouncy a little bit when you come to a stop, but most of the time you're sniping from the back, so that's not that big of a problem. You're slow, you're not that fast, but it's also not as slow as FCM or something like that, you know, it's doable, let's say it like that. Also you're tank destroyer, so I truly don't think the speed is that important. Then gun, you have 76mm cannon. Penetration amazing, explosive mass amazing. When you enter a vehicle with this shot, you are getting a kill 100%. I don't know if I ever shot at a guy and he survived that. I don't think that. Bad thing, you're open. Bombs, planes, yep, have fun. Also 8 shots of ammunition. This was very big deal before, but now you have that ammo box that you can put down and replenish ammo, so you get 16 shots. 16 shots, more than enough for every single game, I think. Amazing vehicle, truly amazing, I love it. It's not S tier, but I think it's right here at the bottom. Why I'm not putting it, you know, up here at A is because at the end of the day it's still tank destroyer. You can't go in, you can't use speed, you can't play a carrot, and you know, these are the tanks that can truly influence the battle. With this, let's say you sit at the back somewhere and no enemy is coming your way. You know what you're gonna do? You can read a book meanwhile or something like that, you know. Now next tank, T60. No stabilizer, doesn't really matter, it's machine gun tank. Mobility, average, it's not the best, you know. I would love if this tank could go like 10 kilometers faster. Armor 35mm on the turret and on hull. That is very good, but the problem is, I think it's the driver hatch that is sticking out. Yeah, you're catching shots with that thing. If they're not hitting there, you're very survivable. Very strong armor. This cannon is a little bit lackluster at the beginning when you don't have the best shots, but when you have the best belt, your penetration goes from 27 to 32. And I think you only have armor piercing rounds. Or no, it's 2 armor piercing rounds and then high explosive. Doesn't really matter. You get 58 ammo. This ammo is... you run out of it very quickly. So I find that, you know, I think this is a really big problem with this tank. Then 20-second reload on this belt doesn't help, you know. 32 millimeters of penetration also is not enough for most of the tanks from the front. You will struggle a lot. And when you're not speedy enough to go to get on their side, like with M2A2, yep, this is a little bit of a problem. But I still don't think this tank is trash. I think C tier bet right here. I think it deserves this spot. And we have 3 SPAAs in a row. And this, I think this is... yeah, these are the only SPAA in 1.0. If you don't count 50 cal on M8, which is, you know, much better than, you know, let's say a British SPA. But yeah, 3 SPAs here. So GAZ, I think it's GAZ, not sure, but if the Russian pronunciation, it should be GAZ, I think. GAZ-AAA 4M right here. You have 4 guns. You know what, let's go first through speed and armor. Armor, non-existent, you're gonna die. Speed, actually very nice. Now these 4 machine guns are amazing when enemy planes come close. They just fall apart. This is like... it's amazing. But for some reason I don't know where to shoot, you know, how much lead to give when the planes are flying very far away. I just can't figure it out. I don't know if the shots are so fast or so slow. I just can't figure it out. When the planes come close, and in 1.0 they will come close because the players are not that good, this tank just shreds. I truly think it's amazing SPAA, so I'll put it right here. I'll put it at the back because it's SPAA. Sorry, you know, you can kill planes, but that's pretty much the only thing this tank can do. And it's a little bit hard to compare SPA to other tanks and say, oh, it's better than Pz.III, you know. I'll just put it at B at the end right here. Then again, GAZ-AAA and weird name, just a second, DShK. Now you get the Russian 50 cal 12.7 machine gun, and you only have 1. This is a little bit hard because, well, for machine guns, I think against planes is just better. It's better. But I can actually shoot at planes with this one machine gun. When they're on a long range, I can hit them much better. And once you hit them much harder. So it truly depends. I think these 2 anti-airs are, you know, here and there. Depends on what you prefer. That's what I think. Now with 4M you can't do anything against tanks. You know, the penetration is like 13 or something like that. With this one, I think it's 30 something. It is actually good, but still it's not reliable against tanks. You damage, you know, you make their crew members orange, and it's like, oh great, you know, it kills you and you get nothing. But it's not bad. I'll put it in the same rank B, but behind 4M. I think this is a little bit better of an SPA. Then Light AA Mark I, and this is the British one. Figure out what the fuck is going on with this tank. With the GAZ, you again, you get 4 cannons or 4 machine guns, same as on GAZ with this tank, but for some reason these guns are not doing shit. They're not doing enough damage. I've got so many hit markers that, you know, I got used to them. It's like, oh, you know, nothing special. The only thing that I got excited with this tank is when I got severe damage or they've started burning. That's it. I just can't figure it out what it is because it's 7.92 millimeters, and with the Rush one it's 7.6. Yeah, so I just can't figure it out. I hate this SPAA. Also, my friend says that he hates it. He thinks it's trash. I can't figure it out what the fuck is going on with this thing, but yeah, I'll put it in the trash right here. I hate it. I hate it with passion after playing it. Now, Japan, Hago. Now, we have Hago and Hago Commander. We'll do them together because there is the same with one difference. Now, yes, this tank has stabilizer, but it's a bad one, you know, but it helps. The mobility is good. It's not the fastest one, but it's good. The lacking thing on this one is the gun. The gun has 34 millimeters of penetration. It's lacking a lot. But yeah, the speed saves this tank. Again, it has no armor. It's Japanese. Get used to that if you're playing Japanese. And when you have Kenny right here, yeah, there is not much reasons to play with this thing. Also, it's locked until you get to rank 2. So for me, it deserves C bet. For new players, this is not a great option. You will probably struggle with it. And yep. Now, the premium version, the only difference is you have 4 smokes on your left side of the turret that shoot sideways, and they all fire at the same time. That is not helping in this battle rating. I don't think that's needed, you know. The amount of times that's gonna help you. No. Not worth it. The last Japanese tank, Kami, and this tank is actually amphibious. It can go on the water, but oh, it's so slow. Why would you ever go on the water with something that has no armor and is so big as this one? It's a bad idea. And again, I will say it, it's Vorskenny. It just is Vorskenny. It's slower, it's bigger with less armor. You're this big square that has no armor or angles. It's bad. The gun is the only thing that saves this tank a little bit, and you know, mediocre mobility. The gun, it's a little bit better than Kenny. You get 58 millimeters of penetration, 57, not sure, doesn't matter. Explosive mass, still it's very bad. Japanese are known for that with this BR. And yeah, I think this is everything. It's a nice tank in the middle, I think. Right here, before or in front of T26, because it's a little bit faster and they both have no armor. The gun on this tank is better, but this gun is enough. It's enough. And then here is Italy. And you know what? Playing Italian tanks, playing these 3 Italian tanks, it's like fucking dragging your balls across broken fucking glass. I don't know how else to explain this. It's painful. So let's go into it. M1139. Tank destroyer, it's slow. The gun is trash. 39 millimeters of penetration. Yes, when you penetrate someone, he's probably dead, but this thing is just bad. It's too slow. The gun is too bad. I think this one deserves the trash. Csaba, or I don't know how to pronounce that. Csaba, I don't know. Wheel tank, no armor, doesn't really matter. You have 5-shot autoloader, but your shots have 34 millimeters of penetration. This is trash. This gun, and then it bounces even, you know, you come to a stop and the gun is bouncing like crazy. The only thing saving it that is wild, and you know, it reaches that nice speed over time. So it's fast, but yes, not even that. It's such an forgettable tank. I hate it. D trash right here. I think it's still in front of T26 for just because of speed. I would rather play Aigoku. I think it's better. So yep, this spot. Or you know, this, we will switch this. Yeah. And then this stupid fucking tank. Ooh, this tank is only good for brain rot content. Oh, I was seeing this tank so much that I genuinely thought that this tank is not that bad, you know. I thought, oh, yeah, people are memeing with it, but it's not that bad. This tank is garbage. It's not fast. It's tongue destroyer. Yes, it has 10 shot autoloader, but you have 38 millimeters of penetration on this 20 millimeter cannon, and it's just not enough. Even if you penetrate someone, the shot is doing nothing. This tank is the biggest pile of shit I've played in this game, probably. In the background you see where I shot at, I think it's Tetrarch, and the shell goes in, it deals nothing. I was cursing so much, I was saying Pz.III Materna, you know. I hate this tank. This is... I f***ing hate it with passion. I don't even like brain rot content, you know, so I think this deserves to be spit on. Poi, you know, right here. Now we were debating whether to put LVT in front or behind this one. We decided at the end that it's still better because you have autoloader. You can surprise people, but yeah, I'm thinking about this, but let's put it right here, you know, so it doesn't cry right here in the corner or at the bottom. If you're a new player, avoid playing Italy at the first place, you know. Italy is not your friend. Same goes for France Same goes for France, same goes for Japan. They're not the best, they're not your friend. Don't go play these nations because they suffer through the entire lineup through the entire tree. And then we go to French tanks. Oh yeah, this is another nation where you just want to, you know, yourself after playing them. And first is AMC 39. Well, I would be happy with 39 penetration, but you only get 29, so yeah, this is... It's not slow, but it's not fast either, so you get this mediocre speed, and on top of that your armor is not good, so you get this weird not fast tank with shit gun. Shit. When you do penetrate someone, oh, it's so nice watching them go in flame, you know. I've made this tank work quite a few games, so for some reason I will put it at C in front of T60, but yeah, this can be changed. I'm not 100% fixated on this, you know. I hated this tank, but when I played it a little bit, it was better than I expected, so yeah, right here. Next one is Cone, FCM 36 and H35. So, FCM first. This tank is a big meme again. Nothing more. You're slow as fuck. Then you have armor, but that armor is not even good for like half of the vehicles right here. They're gonna shred you. And then you get this garbage gun with 39 millimeters of penetration. Sorry, 36. And you think 36, you know, that's not that bad. Well, it uses APCR, the worst shell. A little bit of slope. Well, your 36 millimeters of penetration is now like 20. It just sucks ass. On range, this shot is garbage. The deviation is terrible. You shoot at the same place, but once the shot goes 3 meters to the left, the other time it goes 1 meter to the right. it doesn't make sense. This tank is complete garbage. I think it's one of the worst vehicles. It deserves D tier. Trash. Right here, even behind the Italian ones. Now H-35, same problem. Same gun, same ammo. It's a tiny bit faster. It goes from 24 kilometers per hour to 29 or 28. It's still not enough. The whole armor, I think it goes from 40 on FCM to like 34, 35. It just the speed helps it a little bit, but it's still trash. It's not good. Don't ever play it. If you're a new player, this will be, you will probably quit if you started playing and these are your first tanks. But I will put it in front of FCM. I think it's a little bit better. So R35, you can compare this tank the most with, where is it, H39, but it's slower. It goes 20 kilometers per hour, Oh, this is bad. This is bad. It uses same gun, so that's not, bad. That's quite good. You have nice AP shot. 4 seconds is a little bit long for 1.0, but oh well. You have nice armor of 43, 45, something like that. It's good, but again, you're not gonna stop Russian, American, British rounds. So yeah, that's that. But apart from speed, I think it's still good. I will put it in B tier behind the other French tanks, and the only reason is, the 20 kilometers per hour really, I thought about that. I thought about dropping it down, but I still think the armor is the reason why I can't put it down here, because so many people in this battle rating don't know how to play, where to shoot, and you can just shred them with these tanks sometimes. Then we go to AMR 35, and this is the tank destroyer. It's fairly quick, no armor, so don't expect to bounce, and it uses the same gun as AMD 35. The 25 millimeter cannon, its post-pen damage is a little bit underwhelming, but I think it's good. I think the speed helps it out quite a bit. The gun is a little pew-pew, you need a few shots, but I don't think that's a big problem. So this tank is overall very nice. For France, this is nice. A tier behind Su-51. And then to the last nation, Sweden. Vickers Mk.E. I don't know if E stands for early, but it looks that way. It's very similar to T26, so this is basically almost the same model with a little bit different turret. But the tank is faster. It goes 35 kilometers per hour. That is quite a nice bump up, from 30 to 35. You can notice that a lot. But it doesn't use 45 millimeters cannon, it uses 37. So instead of 71 penetration, you get 55 with APH. You also have 62 millimeters of penetration with AP, but I don't think it's worth it. 55 is more than enough, I think. I would actually put this tank in B tier behind every other T26. Why? Because of the gun. I don't think that 5 kilometers per hour more is, I don't think it helps this tank so much that I would put it in front of it. No, that spot is reserved for our next tank, and that is T26E. And with this tank, again, T26, but you go 35 kilometers per hour. That is amazing. 5 kilometers per hour. When you go, maybe when you go from 60 to 65, it's not noticeable. But when you go from 30 to 35, it's very nice. 45 millimeters cannon. You have 71 or 70 millimeters of penetration on APHE. This gun just shreds. But again, it's T26 only. It's nothing special. So I think it deserves this nice spot right here in B tier. And we are on our last two tanks, or they're the same, so. Now, this is Stridswagen 39, so 31 here, 38 here, and this is the 39 version. So first, same gun, same ammo with 55mm of penetration on APHE, same ammo with APDS with 115mm of penetration, that's amazing. The speed is in between, so 31 is 42, 46, this is 45, doesn't really matter, small change. The big difference with this one is turret armor. Your turret armor is 50mm thick, that's amazing. Also you go from 10 degrees of gun depression to 14. Also big difference right here. And this is, you know, this becomes a big monster of a vehicle. I have nothing bad to say about this tank. I've enjoyed every single game playing with this vehicle. Truly amazing. For new players, I think this is a very good option. You know, it's not the best. There are still better options for your first tanks to try out. But it's not B tier where you will struggle as a new player. It's still, I think, this nice spot where you need to do well, and you know, you learn a lot when you play this tank, but it's powerful enough that it will save you from some situations. So I think A tier, it's very good. Maybe this is again my personal bias, you know, with Kenny being up here, because I can definitely see it, you know, drop like down here. But I think as a good player you can do so much, you know, so that's why that's why it's up here. And this is just Twitch drop version. I actually don't know if it will be ever possible to get this one as a new player, or if you don't have it right now. I hope so, because I would really love to get my hands on these special tanks. But yeah, Twitch drop version, nothing more to say, it's the same as this one. So let's just put it here. This is ranking or tier list for 1.0, every single 1.0 tank. Please in the comments tell me what do you think about this kind of video. I hope it's not too long because I haven't edited yet. But yeah, I always loved these kind of videos with other content creators. I think it's nice showcase of you to see, you know, oh, this tank performs like this and so on. If you're a new player, I just want to go quickly, very quickly through this. These are the tanks that you will have lots and lots of fun, and that are very easy to play. Maybe M8 is a little bit harder, but easy tanks to play. Then these tanks right here, still good, but a little bit harder. Now, it's not as easy as with this one. You need to think a little bit. Then you have tanks in mid tier. These are the tanks that are just average. Average tanks that you can do well in, but they're gonna be outperformed by some tanks up here, or almost every tank up here. Then we go to C tier. These are tanks that are bad, and for new players I don't recommend. I think they are too hard. I think they are too hard to play. You need to know what you're doing. If you don't, you will not enjoy this game that much with these tanks. Maybe, you know, some games, but nope. And D tier, trash. Trash vehicles. And I truly believe these are trash vehicles. With every single tank right here, you will struggle. You will struggle to get something. Maybe SPAA, not so much, because, you know, at the end of the day, you can still shoot at a plane and, you know, you can get a random good hit or something like that. Maybe I should put this up here. But I had such a terrible experience with this tank that I think it's down here. And yeah, this is the tier list. I spent so much time on this just for editing. I think with tanks, you know, with gameplay, you saw behind, I'm still like 10, 15 tanks. I still need to edit that, and I already edited probably 20 or 15 hours or something like that. I played 16 just for the gameplay behind. This is a very big video, And yeah, I would really appreciate every single one subscribing, liking, commenting. I don't care, you know. Please, it costs you nothing. Please do that if you enjoy this kind of video. And I hope you have a good day and goodbye.